Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and on this episode we're walking in Memphis. Topic of this Walking in Memphis, CWA Wrestling from May 20th, 1989. Now if you haven't seen any of my shows before, we grade everything on a 1 to 5 scale. 1 is the worst, 5 is the best. For the Walking in Memphis shows, we include a whole segment basically from commercial to commercial, or if a match goes over commercial, that'll still be considered part of one segment. So that's all going to be graded as one thing. Let's jump right into it. We start off hot with a match. We have Jeff Jarrett and Billy Travis going up against Keith Eric and the Red Devil. I thought this was a good match to start the show with. I like Jarrett and Travis. Billy Travis is a guy kind of forgotten by most fans, but he was an excellent wrestler, especially during this time. Jarrett and Travis pick up the win here. From that, they go over to the announce table for an interview, explain why Travis is back with Jarrett, explain how he came back to Memphis, and they show a video of Ronnie P. Gossett's crew, which includes P.Y. Chuhai and Master of Pain, Tojo Yamamoto, all attacking Jerry the King Lawler and injuring him. Thought this was a pretty good showing. They showed that, then they go into a promo package with a music video for Jarrett and Billy Travis, and the music video set to Raise Your Hands by Bon Jovi. Thought it was pretty cool. Thought I did enjoy that. I liked it here. I thought it was coming off pretty awesome. For that whole segment, then we go, I'm going to give that all a 4. That was a good opener. I liked the match. I liked the interview. I liked the video. Giving it a 4. Next up, we get an interview with Tracy Smothers and John Paul for the upcoming show, followed by an interview in studio with Jeff Jarrett talking about defending against the Gossett Crew, which then we see an interview with Ronnie P. Gossett's crew, who first P.Y. Chuhai and the Master of Pain, which is Phil Hickerson and The Undertaker, come out to look for Jerry the King Lawler. Then Tojo and Gossett come out and a couple others. They do an interview, fantastic interview here, followed up by Nightmare Freddy coming out and throwing a fireball into the face of trying to get Gossett, but he hits Tojo Yamamoto instead. I'm giving that all a 5. Next up, we have a match with Freezer Thompson and Buddy Brooks going up against Mark Starr and Chris Champion, aka the Wild Side. Basing off of commentary, this is the Wild Side's first match here, which is pretty cool. I thought they were a really cool group, a good tag team. Star and Champion, the Wild Side, pick up the win. Then that goes into an interview with the Wild Side, talking about how they're going to cause mayhem and destruction, which is a pretty good interview. Followed that up by Tracy Smothers and John Paul having a video. It's set to a country song. I'm not familiar with the song. I even tried to Shazam it, and it didn't come up with anything, so either it was a local country act or one of their friends, maybe. It was a decent song. I'm not the hugest fan of country music, but it was a good song. I'm giving that whole segment a 3. I thought it was pretty good. Next up, we have a promo package with Jerry the King Lawler, and it starts off with just a chair. Then Lawler appears, talking about Tojo and Gossett and P.Y. Chuhai, that they're not going to know when he shows up. Pretty good little interview. I mean, it's Jerry Lawler. What do you expect? Then we get into a promo with Action Jackson, with Billy Travis and Jeff Jarrett, saying he turned to being a good guy. He was formerly in the stud stable. Leads us to a match with Action Jackson versus the Grappler. I don't know if this was Len Denton or not. It looks like the build of Len Denton. It may have been somebody else just calling himself the Grappler. During the match, we see Sylvia out there. Afterwards, she gets involved. She starts smacking Action Jackson. Then a lady out of the crowd comes and attacks her. Robert Fuller comes out. We go to commercial. I'm giving that all a 3. I thought it was pretty good. After that, we see a promo again, a local promo for the Wild Side. Then we have Jackson out. Action Jackson's back out with the woman that attacked, and it's announced that that's his sister. Eddie Marlin says she could stay around. She could be your manager to offset Sylvia for Rob Fuller. Nice little interview here. I do enjoy Action Jackson's interviews. I think they're pretty good. Then we go into a promo video for Lord Humongous, which I believe is Psycho Sid Vicious at this point. It may have been Jeff Camp. I'm almost 90% sure. I believe that this was Sid's run as Lord Humongous. It definitely looks like he has a build. Jeff Camp was a similar build, so there is a little doubt, but I'm almost 100% sure this was Sid. This was set, a promo video, all set to War Machine by Kiss, so Sid Taz may be calling you for gimmick infringements, even though you did this 6 years before he used it for his song. A pretty good little video package. Then we get an interview with Robert Fuller and primetime Brian Lee, who at the time I think were the Southern Tag Team Champions. Fuller and Lee then go right into a match with Alan Reynolds and Didi Araya, kind of a mix of Dee Snider and Tom Araya from Slayer. Of course, the stud stable, Fuller and Lee, pick up the win here. That was all one thing. I'm going to give that all a 5. I thought it was a really good way to end the show. Overall, a pretty good show from start to finish. Really, some really real high highs. Not a lot of lows on the card. I'm going to give it a 4. I thought it was solid all the way through. I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but if you do want to watch the video that I reviewed for this, it's going to be down in the description for this. Also, if you're following my page, if you're subscribed, I try to put out at least a day before I drop these videos, the show that I'm going to review, so you can watch them before watching this, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like I said, I'm giving this a 4. Smash that like button, share the video, subscribe so you can get those comments. I put them out as basically a comment there, a community. They come up in the community tab. If you're subscribed, you'll see it. There's a benefit to that. And if you made it all the way to the end, let's put Lord Humongous in the comments, or War Machine. Something to do with Sid Vicious in the comments, because I love Sid. With all that being said, my name is George Coles, and we've been walking in Memphis.